Hello, nerds! Thank you for joining me here on Nerd News Clips. This is the second channel. This is the place for all of the short-form content as well as the individual sections and just generally speaking smaller things. If you are into the longer form content, youtube.com/generallynerdy is the place to go see that. With that out of the way, let's get into this. So we are going to start off in music, like we do. Our music section this week is going to be a little different because kind of most of our things have to do with new music, technically speaking, so we're differentiating these things and it's really arbitrary. But to start things off, we do have a follow-up. Five Finger Death Punch has officially announced the name of their new record, and they are done recording said new record. It is called Afterlife. I still could not find a release date for this, so when that gets announced, we'll update you further. But there is the first single has been released from this new record. Afterlife, again, is the name of the single as well as the album. So if you are a Five Finger Death Punch fan, go check it out. I have yet to check it out because I honestly didn't have the time this morning, but it is a thing that exists and you can go watch it. Maybe we'll add that to our ever-growing list of reactions. But continuing on, we do have some actual new music to discuss. First off, we have Machine Head have released the first single off of their new record, which they have announced is going to be called Of Kingdom and Crown. The record is to be released August 26th. The name of the new song is Choke on the Ashes of Your Hate. Link can be followed down in the description if you want to go watch the video, listen to the song. I have heard it actually 2 or 3 times at this point, and I've just never been a Machine Head fan. This isn't anything that's really going to win me over to become a flag-bearing member of the Machine Head crew, but it's probably a little bit better than things I've heard from them more recently, so I do appreciate that. Just not anything sterling. They seem to represent the middle of the pack pretty well, and I don't know, just don't really do a whole lot for me. So this is more of that, though slightly better. So Killswitch Engage is our other piece of new music, and they just announced Live at the Palladium. Live at the Palladium is going to be a live album and DVD or video or whatever, downloadable. I don't know. I'm pretty sure there'll be a downloadable version of it, digital version, if you will. And it's going to be 2 separate performances. One is going to be the entire performance of their Atonement record, and the other is going to be the entire performance of their Alive or Just Breathing record. So the most recent record and the record that started it all, live with Jazzy on vocals and a couple of bonus tracks thrown in there on the live performances as well. So that is pretty cool. They didn't say specifically if there was going to be a version of the Signal Fire, but I would be very surprised if they left that off. Howard Jones specifically joining them to do the Signal Fire, because he does it on the record with them. He went on tour with them. I would imagine he was at the Palladium to do this DVD. So yeah, again, very surprised if that doesn't happen. But it is also going to be a live album. And this is actually the first time, I can't believe nobody else is pointing this out. This is the first time Killswitch Engage has released a proper live album. They have released live songs. They have also released a live performance DVD previously. But this, to my knowledge, is the first time that they're releasing a proper live album, which is pretty interesting. Generally speaking, I am not the biggest fan of live albums, but I am a huge Killswitch Engage fan, so I'm interested to see what happens with this. As far as the new music, aside from the announcement of this record, there is a video that you can go watch. I did not write down which song it was for, but it's off the Atonement record. It is from the Live at the Palladium performance video, so go check it out, link in the description. Don't know why I didn't put the title of the song in my notes, but that's just silly. So that's what we have for traditional new music. And now we have our first piece of regular news that is also kind of new music, is a new band has formed. And this is noteworthy because of the members of said band. So we have Kim Thayil from SOUNDGARDEN, guitar player from SOUNDGARDEN, as well as Krist Novoselic from NIRVANA. And we have drummer Matt Cameron from Pearl Jam and SOUNDGARDEN for a time. They have all joined together with another guitar player, Bubba Dupree, who plays with Void and Hater, and then two vocalists, Jennifer Johnson and Jillian Raye, both in Giants in the Trees with Krist Novoselic. And the name of this new band is Third Secret. And it's a little underwhelming. Like with the pedigree that you have with these players, you have Kim Thayil and Krist Novoselic. Just those two names alone hold enough pedigree that you better be swinging for the fences with this project, and it does not feel that way. This sounds like something from the 90s, and not in any really kind of great way, which there's a lot of great music that comes from the 90s. These guys are part of a lot of the great music from the 90s. This just sounds like something that gets played on the radio between the great songs. This is really unremarkable, very unnoteworthy, just not very disappointing, I guess is the point I'm trying to make. But there is a link down in the description for one of the more upbeat songs of theirs that I did listen to. And so let me know what you think about this new effort from some old school grunge heavy hitters, man. Like, really disappointing. Anyway, moving right along, we do have a piece from Slipknot. The guys in the Knot are teasing something known as the Knotverse. It's very likely something to do with some sort of metaverse-esque situation. It's a tease on their Twitter account. It's very similar to the Sandbox tease about something new coming down the road. Sandbox is, I believe, I only did a very minimal amount of research about this, but Sandbox, I'm pretty sure, is something that is looking to compete with the metaverse, which is, again, Facebook's new company name. So, very interesting situation. Slipknot, how they tie into this still remains to be seen. A lot of conjecture around this project. Very potentially has something to do with crypto, which if it does, I really hope they have figured it out, because apparently nobody has figured out crypto yet, but that's a whole other 2.5 hour video that somebody else did much more eloquently than I. Yeah, just it's interesting. The only way that I have seen that crypto and NFTs and anything associated as such makes any sense is if it is only treated as a pretend currency. If it's only treated as effectively in-game currency for some sort of game. And yet there has yet to be a game properly produced around such a concept, aside from, in a more loose sense, every like pay-to-play kind of game. But as far as like actual gaming content, has never been based on crypto, the blockchain, so on and so forth. So if that is what this is, then I feel like it makes a little bit of sense. You buy currency to get into the Knotverse, and then you can play the games that exist in the Knotverse, and then you can theoretically transfer items from one game to the next, and it's some sort of virtual world that you exist in. That makes sense. That's probably what this is, but again, all of this is very much conjecture. So since we have nothing else to go on and we're not in the rumors section, we're just going to continue right along. We are now into the touring section of the music news. So first up, we have an announcement from the Melvins, who literally just got done with a tour, and now they're going back out. This time, though, they'll be headlining, so there's at least that. We have the Electric Roach tour. Tickets go on sale this Friday. It will be with Helms, Alee, and Harsh Mellow on the opening side of things. It starts June 15th in Long Beach, California, goes all the way through July 20th in Berkley, California, so it is staying pretty exclusively on the West Coast, though I think they do go as far east as I want to say Salt Lake might be about as far east as they go, but either way, tickets go on sale April 15th, Friday. If you are into the Melvins, then I very much encourage you to go check it out. They put out 2 records last year. 2 freaking records last year. So yeah, anyway. Next we have Five Finger Death Punch. We're revisiting those guys. They are also going out on tour. This time it's a very interesting situation because they're going on tour with Megadeth and The Who. Not The Who like, who are you? Who? Not that Who. The Who that's the Mongolian metal dudes that do the throat singing that I can't do. But they do the throat singing and they have the really traditional Mongolian instruments. Those guys, that The Who, H-U, not W-H-O. So Megadeth is not headlining this tour, though I would imagine when we get a little bit closer to seeing tour posters and such for this, it will be billed as a co-headline of some sort. And actually, I would be very surprised if you go to this show and Megadeth plays for less amount of time than Five Finger Death Punch. I just don't see that happening. Either way, Five Finger is, as it currently stands, being billed as the headliners for this tour. Tickets rather for this tour also do not go on sale until Friday, April 15th. Though I do have a link down in the description for this one. If you are looking for tickets, then you can follow that link if it is after April 15th. This tour is a pretty long one. They are starting August 19th in Portland, Oregon. They are running through October 15th in Salt Lake City, Utah. Again, link in the description if you want to get your tickets. That is what we have for our regular section. Let's get into the music suggestions for this episode in an effort to remind people why Will Smith is so beloved and why, even great people have bad days, and if that was a really bad day, I am going to suggest to you Jazzy Jeff and the Fresh Prince's Code Red album. I believe that is the last album in which they were billed together as DJ Jazzy Jeff and the Fresh Prince. It is peak ability between those two and the way they feed off of each other, and just every song, there is literally no filler on this record. And that's not something I can honestly say about a lot of hip hop. Only the greats can do something like this. And this is an example of why Will Smith is still, in my mind and in the minds of many, one of the greats in this genre. I know it's not a genre we cover a whole lot on this channel, but this Code Red record is definitely worth a listen. And that is your music suggestion for the week. Once again, this has been just a brief segment from the larger episode that has been posted over on the main channel, youtube.com/generallynerdy. Go over there for the long form content, or just subscribe here if you want it in bite-sized chunks. Thank you very much for joining me, nerds. We'll see you in the next one. Before we go though, always remember that if it's generally nerdy, it's probably here.